Hey, there is a quote often misattributed to the great Nelson Mandela that says it is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Let's look at the full quote, where it came from, and what it means to you today. How is it we can do some amazing and sometimes unexplainable things, like heal our own bodies by the power of our thoughts? Mother's intuition, the law of attraction. Can we really tap into our subconscious mind? Can we really create our own realities? It begs the question, are we novice gods? All right, last week I shared, as I was talking, I talked about this quote and started to say it, and I realized I didn't really remember it very well. It was about that it is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. So I decided to look it up, find out a little bit more about that, and share it with you. I did share it in the show notes in that other episode, but I want to make sure that you get the full thing because there's really some interesting stuff going on here. So the quote, now this is often misattributed to Nelson Mandela. They said that it was given in his inaugural speech. It actually wasn't. It is a quote by Marianne Williamson. And the quote is beautiful, and it is exactly what we are talking about in this series. And I'm going to read it so that I say this right and we don't do any other misattributions and things to it. So she says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. That is exactly what we're talking about in this series. We're talking about, do we have greatness within us? Do we have divine DNA? If it's true that we are children of God, doesn't that mean that to live as the fullest expression of ourselves mean that we are a lot more than we are right now? Pretty amazing stuff. Now, one thing that I want to point out is in this poem, there's some really interesting stuff going on. So, first of all, it was misattributed to Nelson Mandela, which, I don't know, Marianne Williamson commented on that. She said, I don't know where that started from, but I'm grateful that other people have resonated with this, that it means that much to them. I love that she approached it from a position of gratitude. Now, along with that, it was actually picked up in a couple different movies. And in those movies, it was changed slightly. And I think that change is important to you because the change will let you know kind of what's going on in the world and what is constantly happening to you to get you to play small, even when they're trying to encourage you. Okay, so let me share this with you. So this is a variant of the poem, and this appeared in Coach Carter. And it says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. It is not in just some of us, it is in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, it is our presence automatically liberates others. Now that's beautiful, and that's inspiring, and that has most of what Marianne Williamson intended for that to, for her poem kind of stuff to say. But there's some interesting stuff that's missing. You know what's missing in there? Any reference to God. God is completely stripped out of that. It is a motivational message that says, yes, you have light within you. You can do it. You can be an inspiration to others. But it doesn't talk about your divine parentage. It doesn't reference God and recognize Him as your Father. Kind of interesting, huh? Because what happens when you lose that connection with who you truly are? Because if you don't know whose child you are truly, how can you be your real full self? Anyway, just kind of an interesting thing. I love that they shared the poem. I think it's sad, though, that some of the important elements are stripped out. And I think that happens in society. I think it happens all the time to us. Now, there is another variant of the poem. This one was given in Akeelah and the Bee. This is what it says here. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. Interesting, huh? It does reference God in that. But in that variation, it changes it. It strips out the idea that you are a child of God. And it also takes out that whole reference to the light within you. Really kind of interesting, isn't it? What if you lived so that you didn't have that understanding that you were a child of God? What if you lived that you didn't know who you were? You didn't recognize that there is light within you, that you are connected to God and to higher power and connected to each other. What if you lived not knowing that we're all brothers and sisters? You know, even with great, amazing, motivational, inspirational speeches and books and poems and all sorts of things, it doesn't quite make the difference that it can make when we recognize that we are truly connected to God. We are His children. And as His children, we can grow up to be like Him. I believe that's true. And this documentary series is looking at all the evidences that prove, or that actually show, hey, maybe that is true. And it'll give you something to believe in, something to put your faith in, and something to then help you use your creation powers to become who you were truly meant to be. So one thing I've been thinking about with kind of this revelation, this understanding of the poem and kind of looking at those subtle differences, I have felt somewhat self-conscious presenting my thoughts and my ideas on this YouTube show. You know, I mean, who am I to present stuff that I don't really know about yet? You know, I'm talking about manifesting. I'm talking, you know, and I haven't quite figured that out. I'm talking about our connection with God. I'm doing that on faith. I'm sharing answers that I've gotten to prayer, which, you know, it's very personal, and that's not something that I would normally do. But then when I read that and I saw what was stripped out, I felt like my voice does matter. That helping people realize that they are truly connected to God, that yes, you are a child of God. We are children of light. We have light within us, and it is that light that most frightens us sometimes. Knowing who we truly are inside on a subconscious level maybe frightens us from the opportunities and living as that right now. So anyway, I thought about that for myself, but then I thought about you. What is your gift? What is your talent? What is in your heart right now that you want to share with the world? That maybe you can make your contribution. Marianne Williamson, thank you for sharing your gift and your talent. Thank you for so eloquently creating that poem, that paragraph that explains who we are. Now, do you, as a viewer, do you have something that you can share? Do you have a gift, a talent, inspiration, insight that you can share with others to help us have clarity and to get along on our road? Think about that. I think we all have a gift, a talent, something to share. And when you let that light shine, when you no longer hide it, when you no longer live small, when you do as Marianne Williamson has said in her beautiful poem, and you live as the fullest expression of yourself, then you can share that and make a difference with others. And that's what we need. We need your voice. We need your insight. We need your talents. We need your gift. I hope you do that, and I hope you let your light shine, that others can see the way clearly before them. I hope this stirred some questions in your soul. Are you more connected to higher power than you think? Do you have divine DNA? Let's keep asking questions. Click on my face to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.